On the ground in southern Mozambique, floodwaters have cut off roads, swept through neighborhoods and trapped families on the wrong side of the swollen rivers. In some areas, residents say they're unable to return home safely, forced to weigh the risks of crossing fast-moving waters against staying stranded.
I'm scared to cross here. We want to go home. Since the day before yesterday, we have been stuck on this side. We want to cross to get home. We have decided to take a risk.
Local authorities say rescue and response efforts are underway, though access remains a major challenge.
We are working, but we don't have all the data about what is happening now. This moment, we are making plans to go to the affected areas where there are people waiting to be rescued.
According to Governor Tule, the government has set up accommodation centres across most districts, with support from partners providing food, water and medical assistance for those evacuated. As national efforts continue, UN agencies warn the scale of the disaster is rapidly expanding. According to the UN Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs, more than 500,000 people have already been affected by flooding across southern and central Mozambique, particularly in Gaza, Maputo and Sofala provinces.
90% of the people in Mozambique live in adobe houses that basically melt after a few days' rains. Health facilities, roads and critical infrastructure are also impacted. So far, the most affected province is Gaza, where I am today, with 64% of the affected people.
OCHA says the numbers are still rising as heavy rains persist and dams continue to release water to prevent bursting.
Nearly 5,000 kilometers of roads have been damaged across 9 provinces, including the main road linking the capital Maputo to the rest of the country, which is currently inaccessible. As a result, supply chains are severely disrupted.
UNICEF is warning that children face heightened risks as floods worsen. The agency says the combination of contaminated water, disease outbreaks and malnutrition could prove deadly, especially in a country where chronic child malnutrition is already widespread.
We can prevent disease, deaths and irreversible losses to children, but we need to act fast. Mozambique is really a country of children and young people. More than half its population, around 17 million people, are under the age of 18, and the average age is just 17. And when floods and cyclones strike, as they have repeatedly and with increasing frequency over recent years, it's the youngest and children who are hit hardest.
With Mozambique entering its cyclone season, humanitarian officials say urgent action is needed to prevent further loss of life, particularly among children. Joy Kiruki Juma, CGTN.
And it's not just Mozambique that has been hit. Communities in South Africa also piecing their lives back together after devastating floods ripped through the Mpumalanga and Limpopo provinces. Nearly 40 people have been killed. Roads, bridges and vital infrastructure has been severely damaged. As CGTN's Julie Shino tells us, with a national disaster having been declared, it's taking time to get aid to the affected areas.
I'm standing on the bridge over the Crocodile River. It is just meters away from one of the entrances into Kruger National Park. Just days ago, this river was dangerously high, cutting off communities and driving devastating floods. The water has now subsided, allowing humanitarian aid to reach the affected villages and deliver much-needed aid to families. In Buffelsspruit, in South Africa's Nkomazi municipality, residents are still coming to terms with the scale of the destruction left by days of relentless rain.
The rain was extremely harsh to everyone, so it affected all the dams that is close by, and some of the children couldn't be able to go to school, some of the people couldn't be able to go to work, so we are affected, very affected, especially most of the businesses that are around here in my community.
We have lots of damage in Buffelsspruit. There is a flowing here, lots of water, and in our house we have a flowing damage at their homes. The rain is sabotaging too much.
While rain continues in parts of the region, floodwaters have begun to recede. Damaged roads are slowly reopening, allowing humanitarian organizations to finally access some of the hardest hit communities.
Some areas that we started off with in Mkondo were really difficult because the roads were really badly eroded and damaged by the water, but there were parts where the truck was able to travel.
More than 500 homes were damaged here in Nkomazi, wiping out food supplies, clothing and shelter for families already living on the margins. In January alone, an unprecedented 400 milliliters of rain fell across Mpumalanga and Limpopo province. The government has declared a national disaster, but officials warn the full impact of these catastrophic floods may only become clear in weeks ahead. Julie Shire, CGTN, Nkomazi, Mpumalanga, South Africa.